Oop, my notes. Good day, mates. Put another shrimp on the barbie. I learned that down in Australia when I was down there, and they said we don't have shrimp, we have prawns, and by God, they were the best ever. Okay, turn this shit back on. It's take 2. Well, take 1 didn't go well, so. But anyways, I was just trying to think of stuff. My daughter's going that, you know, I have to start this new thing called Dirty Shorts so I can get people to watch me and I don't get a penny for it. So I got my shorts here, and now this pair's clean. Not actually, because I don't have underwear anymore. I've gone spandex, and you know, once you've gone spandex, you can't go back. That stuff will keep you warm in the wintertime. So Try Me is about all the triathlons I did, and I started thinking about it, and you know, oh God, you know, you'd actually done the Ironman. Well, actually I've done 5. First one was 16 hours and 32 minutes. Last one was 10 hours and 54 minutes and some seconds. So that shows improvement. I was thinking back when I was doing these triathlons, and then my son Taylor, he wanted to do a triathlon, so we went to Chicago. We were just doing the little guys, you know, and so we get there, and oh, it was a terrible time. So I was doing strike down there in southwest Iowa, and Taylor, we said, well, I can only had a day. I had 2 days on the weekend, and I had to be back. So Taylor showed up on Friday night, and then we drove from southwest Iowa to Chicago, Illinois, and this is one of my worst experiences. What I remember most about that one is, well, this was the one where the clouds came in while we're standing there. There's thousands of us out there at Lake Michigan on Michigan Drive, and we're supposed to, you know, get ready to go, and all of a sudden these clouds come in, and it just was lightning, rain, thunder, and all sorts of crap. Everybody, thousands of people running for cover, and we're going to hit the water. And now I'm in the old group section, you know, and they put all the kids out and stuff, and then they have the last section where the old guys go, and I'm sitting there in my Speedo, and everybody else has got on their little leather, you know, I mean, the frog suits and all that kind of crap, and I'm the only one standing there in my Speedo, and I'm going, ooh. Somebody came by and says, yeah, the water's 59 degrees, and I'm going, ooh, that's cold, man. I mean, that just suck all the life right out of you. Might as well smoke one of my last cigars. So I had a Swisher Sweet, and while I'm in the back, I'm sitting there and I'm smoking that Swisher Sweet, and finally the gun goes off, and I take off in my wave, and we swim a little bit out here, and we come back, and oh, when I hit that water, I mean, it was just like churn, churn, churn. You know, once you get it up, you got to keep it up. You can't let it go down or you're going to drown. Well, so I get out of that thing, and I do the bike. I don't know, it's a short course, so what is it, maybe 10 miles or so on the bike. And then there's a, you know, 10K run was at 6.2 or something like that. And we go through all this stuff. Now, I was feeling a little peaked by the time I got done, and of course everybody in the world's already finished up before I got there. And so, well, I decided, well, you know, got to the finish line, and I think, well, I need to go to the bathroom. I gotta go. You know, I mean, it's time to empty. So I walk in one of these satellite houses. Now, you gotta understand, these little satellite houses have been used by everybody that's ever been there. The whole time before I get in there, I open up the door. I walk in, shut it, and I look, and I open up the little lid thing, and it's plumb full. I mean, it's leaking out. I mean, I have a weak stomach when it comes to poop. And I just started puking, and so I puked in the little seated area there, and it splashed back up on me, which made me puke even more. So then I turned and I went to the urinal, and I started puking in the urinal, and then it was flashing back up on me like that. And the recollection from those standing around was that all of a sudden the satellite door opened up, and they just see this striped ass 8 going down this way towards Lake Michigan. And I didn't stop until I got there, and I dove off the pier into the water just to get all the poop off me. And we're just trying to get over the trauma of that day. And so that night we went to Papa Uno's or Uno Papi or something like that. Chicago's supposed to be the best pizza in the world. Now it's thick pan and I don't care much for that, but I'll go. I mean, I'll do anything. So we go there and I'm sitting at the table and it's time to, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go walking into the bathroom and I'm standing there and then all of a sudden, a shadow comes in. I go, whoa, man, the earth is moving. What's going on? And then there was this, all of a sudden this guy was next to me. He was huge, man. I mean, he was just huge, and he's using the urinal next to me, and thank God he was at least 6'4", so his shoulders kind of came over to my side like this. Now, I'm huddling up next to the urinal because I'm not really wanting to, expose the little guy to this beast next to me. Don't look. He might beat you up. So anyways, I finished my job and I start walking back to wash my hand. I look back at this guy, and this guy he was huge. He was like 6'4", if not more, and he just went down to this middle waist, and then he had these hips and these legs that were just huge. And I'm thinking, wow, this guy has to be a linebacker of Chicago Bears, which he probably was. So that was probably one of the major moments of my triathloning career for the short courses. But now the first one, the first Ironman one that I went to, that was a pretty interesting little time. A guy at work said, hey, they're doing triathlon. There's a Hawaii triathlon that they did last year, and they're going to have one up in Minnesota. I said, well, what is it? 112 on the bike. Never done 112 in my life. 2.4 swimming. Fat floats, so I was okay there. The run, 26.2 is a long ways. And the first one I did was, that took me 16 hours, 32 minutes, and some seconds. Well, the last one, five later, I did it in 10 hours and 54 minutes. Now that first one, this was like a nightmare come true. I swam the 2.4. Just so happened that, Scott Tinley and Scott Molina, the triathlon champions of the world at that time, were there. Well, now I'd been there before and stuff, so I knew the spot to be. So I'm at the right spot. And this Scott Molina comes over. I didn't know who he was, but he's trying to start to shoulder me out. I'm going like, hey, you're not doing that. So I stood my ground, and he's just giving me these ugly looks like I'm supposed to know who he is. So he's sitting there, and the gun goes off. Now, he didn't really have to be that horse's hinder that he was, because as soon as that went off, he was gone. I wasn't even touching his feet on the way out. So we swim and, we do all that kind of thing. And then you get on the bike and it's 112 miles. Now, never having done one before, 112 miles, all I had was this old Schwinn Continental. It was made out of iron, man. This thing was heavy and yada, yada, yada. I basically came in towards the tail end on that bicycle because everybody else was spinning and then they'd been riding and all this kind of crap. Well, I get off that bike and I'm thinking, man, that was the worst 112 I've done for a while. And I'm going, well, okay, now I'm a runner, so I know I can run. So I get out and I'm going and I start running and I'm just like full of myself and I'm so glad to be off that bicycle. I made that first 12.1 miles out there, or no, what is it, 26.2, 13.1 miles out that way in an hour and a half. And I'm thinking, if I speed it up a little bit, I can break a 3-hour marathon. And at the turnaround point, by the time I was there, everybody had eaten everything. There wasn't anything but water and some few people standing around. And I'm going, this is going to be a long way. And so I'm kind of trotting by. I go, any food? And some guy was eating a chili burger or something like that. He says, here, you can have this, which was really damn decent of him. And so I stopped. Now, I should have never stopped, but once I stopped, and then I ate the chili burger, now I'm just totally depleted. And so it's time to, okay, let's go. Kick him up again. Let's go. Well, it wouldn't go. It's like a car where it's going, something's not definitely wrong. Now, it was in Minnesota, couldn't have been much more than like 60 degrees or a little over 60, something like that. And I had hyperthermia, man. I mean, everything in my body was out. I was done. It was over. I started walking and stumbling. I could just tell that something wasn't right. And I thought, well, I know this, I'm smart, right? So I clamped my arms down like this and I covered my nuts so I could, keep as much heat into me that I could keep. And I'm just kind of stumbling down the road. Now this guy in a van come by and he sees me, I'm struggling, and he hops out and he goes, "Are you okay?" "Oh, yeah." As I'm holding my nuts and my arms clamped down, and he says, "Here, take my jacket." So he took his jacket off and gave it to me, and then I put it on. Okay, and I put it on, and I'm going, "Oh, thank you." And so I started just walking, just one foot after the other. Now, like I say, it was an hour and 32 minutes going out for half a marathon. It took me 4 hours to get back. It wasn't the most pleasant 4 hours I ever spent, and it was like a nightmare come true, man. I'm just stumbling, I'm walking in this guy's jacket, there's nobody behind me because I'm pretty much last in this whole event. There's a few stragglers that are still hanging on. And I happened to just hit it at the same time that Minnesota had this hatching or whatever it is. All of a sudden there was bugs. So there were so many bugs, I had to walk with my hands over my face so I wouldn't breathe them in. It was just a nightmare. Finally got to the end, and that was a long one. So we got done. I kind of got back in the car and said, can't really afford to have a motel room. I'll just drive home. So I just got in my car and drove home. We got about halfway and I said, I can't go anymore, man. That was just it. So I pulled over alongside the road, just plopped over in the car like that, laid down, slept for a little bit, and then poof, got back up. I said, okay, time to go. And I drove home, and I don't know where to go from here. I'm a hell of a lot better rider than I am a talker. Anyways, that's enough of this dirty short episode. If you ever need dirty shorts, you come see JFC Jeffrey. You can send money if you like.